Once again, I just wanted to do a video for you guys talking about scouting. I've had a few people asking over the last few days about, hey, how does scouting work? How does disguise work? And, you know, I'm okay with making these videos. These videos don't bother me one bit. If you have a video that you want me to do, please do. I'm sorry I haven't gotten the subs yet. I'm a horrible person, I know. But without that, let's get right into this. So, how scouting works. So, when you get a ship, you have your ship's base scouting range, and then you have your advanced scouting range. Now, the gearing, I'm going to just use a tier 9 because it's the easiest out of the setting, plus I've pretty much scrapped all the other duties I have. You'll see, your stats here says scouting range, meters 56, 67. That's obviously upgraded. But starting out, your ship usually runs about 4862. That means 4,862 meters. In the game, that is roughly 4.8 squares. So when you're looking in your lower right screen, you see all those squares. I can scout 4 of those squares and almost to a fifth square. Now, immediately upgraded, it runs to 5100, which means it jumps over that little 5000 mark and about 100 more. Now, mine statically shows 5667. Now, that is because, well, here, let me do it this way. We're Notice now my scouting range is 5250. That's because, oh, I have him on there. So here you go. 4850 is what this ship does naked, which is really hilarious because it's a scouting range 5105. I've noticed the inconsistencies of the scouting system on here, so bear with me. So we're going to go ahead. First thing you do for a DD especially is you're going to be putting that scouting unit on there as quickly as possible because it's important, it's imperative, and it's going to make your ship scout better. So now you see we're up at 5250. Now, theoretically, that should be above that with the other bonus, so you realistically see this being closer to 5450 than 5250. Sorry. It's brought to you by Monster because I am not awake yet. Now, we're going to go choose our captain, and I'm going to show you a couple of nifty little tricks of how this works in specific. So, first captain we're going to do is we're going to grab my level 10 4-star. This is the highest you can get, and he has a great battle power. His battle power is very vindictive to the rest of this. So we're going to put Gunther Lugens, just because he has a 4-star and he's a level 10 up there. Now, if you'll notice, my scouting range is now jumped to 5339. The higher the battle power of your captain, the higher your overall scouting range of your ship is because he's increasing everything else here on the rest of the ship. So let's go ahead and switch that to my other commander that I normally use. Where are you? Flaming Fist awesomeness. So Gerard Roop, who is a star behind, and he's almost a level 10. So he has 150 battle power versus 175. So he's 25 points of battle power behind. So he only brings it up to 5326. Not bad. Not much of a difference, but it makes a difference in the end. So then we're gonna go ahead and grab the other slot that makes a huge difference is our comm specialist. So for me, I use Naki Yamarashi. I don't bother putting him up to 4-star because he's ultimately going to be replaced when I can afford it. Everybody's like, oh, you can do it now, you can do it now. Well, I have a lot of commanders I can do it now too. So anyways, the big thing is you want Survival Instincts and Tenkashaku. Because what that does is you put him on comms. Ha! 56, 67. Your ship now actually is honestly a wee bit closer to 58. Remember the beginning? So really, you're almost to 6,000 meters of scouting because Nakayama adds 5 and approximating 3, and in that position at level 10 with Gerard Roop as a captain, notice sonar, radio, and radar are all up 6.6%, meaning he's increasing that percentage because he's such a high level. Now, if he were 4-star, for example, those would be a higher percentage. Another good position for that is going to be a 4-star commander called Andrew Cunningham because he has what's called Mobile Beacon, which increases scouting range by 500 meters, sonar by 4, and radar and comms by 4, and scouting by 5. Now, people talk about, oh, well, he doesn't have Survival instincts. Well, the point of that is Gerard Roop has survival instincts. So you make Roop level 4. He grabs survival instincts. He's also commander at level 4. Naki Amarashi, if you get him to 4, only gives you torpedo speed by 2%, which sometimes can be good. But if you run into Andrew Cunningham, the fact is that he's going to jack up your scouting range by that. Plus, being a 4-star, he's naturally going to have a higher comms range. So here we are sitting about 58. And then when you fill out the rest of your commanders for the squad for your DD, they don't really have an effect on the comm slot nearly as much. They basically, you know, guns, spinning, hit. This guy doesn't really do much. This position doesn't do much, and this position doesn't do much for comms. Now, what does do it is for the captains themselves. Casper Moss is amazing for a DD because he brings to the battle Comet, which is speed, acceleration, and steering. That's huge for DD. Dip, duck, dive, dodge. 5D is a dodgeball. Dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge. You'll hear me yell that at my teammates a lot. It's awesome. But really, he brings another 150 meters to scouting. But you'll notice over to the right, the scouting range did not increase. Now, I'm trying to talk to the devs and point out that that's not very accurate, but I don't know if they're going to be able to fix it. You kind of got to rough wing it. Unfortunately, I wish it would actually specifically do the mathematics that your commanders would do to there, and I'm going to talk to the devs about it. But for right now, you kind of got to just wing a lot of this stuff mentally. So we're, let's say, 5850. This brings up to 5950 to 6,000. So we're at 6,000 meters scouting. Naki Amarashi throwing in on that already. And then we have Felix von Luckner, who I made a post about Disguise about, and I'll talk to you that in a second. But he also increases scouting by another 150. So you're easily seeing that this little gearing can see well over 6,000 meters. Its scouting range is well over 6,000 meters, to be perfectly honest. Now, that means I can see it 6,000 meters, which is over here in the back corner of the map, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to actually physically see the ship. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, ships have this thing called disguise, and the first point of disguise is going to be right here with your paint. Painting ships is imperative to helping your disguise, because the problem is there is no base rate that I've found for disguise yet, and I know somebody knows it in the game, and I just haven't had a chance to talk to them yet. But this paint gives you plus 300 disguise. Now, what gets really confusing is they use disguise as a physical number here, but also as a percent. But I'm trying to figure out what the base percent is. So if somebody knows to post it up in this thread, you'd be awesome. And I'll keep it going and let people know. Oh, hey, my flags came off. Never run without this. Anyways, so you have plus 300 for your disguise off of there. Now, the ship's naturally got a low disguise amount, so you're probably seeing pretty good. What helps is, now, Felix von Luckner. He has Seahawk and Enhanced Disguise 2, which increases disguise by 5 and 2%, which means on top of the 300 points from the paint, it adds another 7%. So if I were to take 100 points being the starting value of disguise for a ship in a DD class, let's say 100 are the best disguise because it's a small ship. So now it's 400 on top of that, and then Felix adds 5% of 100 and 2% of 100, which means you're looking at 25 and 20. You're looking at a total of 7%. Sorry, I was doing that wrong. So you're looking at 7% of 100 on top of that 300 points from the paint. That's the easiest way I can explain it. But until I get like the actual numbers to give you guys, I'm sorry, it's kind of a bit of a speculation, but you can always base it off of 0 as your base disguise, and then you get your percent on a scale of 0 to 100 or 0 to whatever. But with Paint and Felix von Luckner, you've added 7% and 300 points, which is a significant amount. A lot of people like to run Disguise, and what Disguise will do, it'll make your ship greatly good at spotting, but you won't be able to be offensive if you've been found. You basically just have to run away. Now, not a problem if you have a good fleet behind you, because you run in there, hey Panzer, I see you, I'll get you submarines, don't worry. You can run away from battle in a DD, generally speaking, if you're good at steering and good at running away, and if they suck at shooting. If they don't suck at shooting and you suck at running away, you're going to have a really bad time. Now, other commanders that will do disguise, starting from the bottom off the top of my head, I know there's everybody's favorite Gordon Chung-hoon. Where are you, Gordon? There you are. Now everybody likes to throw Gordon Chung-hoon on there because he has another disguise of 2%. Well, that would bring your disguise up to 9%, which is actually really good. But the thing is the MG damage isn't really that great. The torpedo reloader by 1% isn't that great. The survival instincts you already have with 2 people on the ship. It's just he's really bringing disguise to the table. So what that would do is pretty much summarize that you are going to lose an offensive capability to gain him. Because, for example, if you get him the legendary, it increases torpedo surface reload by 3%. You literally spend 2,500 for 3%. Now, I tell a lot of people this is wrong because if you look at Koga Shinsuke, if you spend that same amount of merit to get him to level 5, he racks up your torpedo reload by 10%. Much better. But anyways, so disguise, you can find them on different captains. To be honest, I don't remember who they all are. They're pretty much scattered. You look for anybody that says disguise X amount. Oh, here you go. Dordley Morton, he raises your disguise by 1%. You've got Max Horton, Morton and Horton. There you go. There's 3% between the two of them. So, I mean, you theoretically could put them on there and gain, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12% disguise. But what you're doing is you're taking off anybody that doesn't run disguise. You would lose Casper, Koga, and Gerard Roop. You can't get rid of the scouting range of Nakayama Arashi. You just can't. That's murder. So you'd add, 2, 2, and 1. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12% disguise. You'll be a really hard to see destroyer, but you won't have any ability really to get in there and smack somebody in the face. You really rely on not being able to be seen. Again, like I said, it's not bad. And then last but not least about disguise, we've covered paint, we've covered captains, is speed. Going full throttle will wreck your life. Do not go full throttle as a DD if you're going up against another DD. You cut yourself back to half throttle. That doesn't make you any less maneuverable, it makes you harder to see. Even at quarter speed, you are insanely hard to see as a DD at that because you have no wake and you have no engine plume. That's what helps keep you hidden, and it forces the other DD to come in, and a lot of times the other DDs will get impatient and come in on you, and you'll see them before they see you. And the beauty behind that is you throw up smoke, and they have to react to it, but by then they've already been spotted. Generally speaking, you don't fire in a DD until you have a kill shot. You don't really get into a pissing contest with the DD. You just let them get close, you let everybody else hammer them, and then you go on your way. With good disguise and good scouting, you can avoid their DD and get in towards their fleet and hide by their fleet, letting your battleships pound the living daylights out of the opposing fleet. That is your job. Unfortunately, with the way the renown works in the game, it sucks for DD because you have to be slightly aggro, which is kind of frustrating for the renown because it makes you not play your DD position as well. Because I've played a game where I haven't fired a shot as a DD, but I spotted everybody and I still lost renown. Kind of sucks in the higher tiers, but regardless. There's your 3 points. Your ship's paint, your captain's disguise, and your speed. Along with your scouting, which is your ship's basic ability to scout, your captain's ability to stack on top of it. And lastly but not least on the scouting is the size of your ship. The bigger the ship, the easier it is to scout. Long story short. But anyways, I thought I'd keep this kind of a short little quick blip on how to improve your scouting and improve your disguise for destroyer guys. So I'll be making a submarine video soon. Don't worry. I'm working on it. I'm just getting some kinks out of the way. But if you have any questions, guys, find me in game, Guyver Phoenix. Find me on the forum. I will be glad to help explain stuff to you. I'm going to start doing these tutorials a little bit better. Trying to keep them somewhat short, but the thing is, guys, honestly, I can't keep them short because there's so much to explain in such a grand feature. And I want you guys to go into this game understanding all these things because I wanna be out there and get pummeled by guys. Like, to me, it's not a fun game unless it's a challenge, and I'm not saying you guys don't challenge me. I just want to see more of you doing better. That makes things more fun. That makes fleet battles more invigorating. That makes pub servers less painful to play in sometimes. Um, and like I said, I am all about giving you guys a hand. If you need help at any time you see me online, message me or post up on the forum like, "Hey Guyver, I need help with this. Why isn't my ship doing this?" And I'll be glad to help you. I'll make a video. I'll live stream for you. And just let me know. I love Steel Ocean because I'm a bit of a naval buff, and this is the type of things that I love doing for people. So, like I said, if you have questions, post them up. I'll make videos. I'll try to explain it to the best of my ability. And yeah, hope to see you on the ocean. Later, guys.